But this is a very simple understanding. Okay, where's MS Paint? All right, cool. I'll pull this up. We're gonna have class together. We're gonna do a quick example of how fighters be living out here. I'm gonna switch this screen. My monitor. All right, bet. Welcome to class, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna start this right here. All right. Damn, this screen kind of bright though. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is kind of bright, dark. Look, we can see things again. All right, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's start it off like this. All right, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna start sectioning off some parts. All right. Got a little corner over here. You'll know what this little corner is soon. I think a lot of people can figure this out. All right, we got some roads. Like, we'll go ahead, draw some roads. All right, we're gonna make some roads over here, some roads over here. You got this nice little section off little area right here. We're gonna make more roads over here. Continue this right here. Make a little section. It's all gonna make sense soon. Trust me. Trust in the process. All right, there's gonna be like this other situation going on around here. All right, all that's roads. All right, so like we want to call like going towards this side, and we're gonna go ahead and pull this out here, right? So we're already gonna go ahead and say that around here, the further you get over here, the further you get to the hood. And the further you get over here, this is like white neighborhood, right? So everything's fine in these parts. We'll go ahead and close this off, close this off. And it's gonna make sense soon. All right. So like over here in your white neighborhood, you be having like real safe games. This is your Street Fighters and your Street Fighter clones like Grand Blue, BBBS. All right, keep this in mind. You can throw Soul Calibur over here because that's also like a very safe game. It has rules. It plays by those rules. It does it very well, right? And then you know there's gonna be some that stick around here. But when you come to the hood, this is very understandable. This is where you start getting into your anime games, your Guilty Gears, your Blaze Blue. And don't even try to fight it because you know that there's more fucked up things that happen over here than it does over here. DNF Duel is over here in the hood. Straight hood bottoms, bro. And then you get the games that kind of play around in the center, right? But then you got something real crazy called the Crack House. Crack, right here. Tekken over here, they in the middle. More so in the white neighborhood standard. Well, no, this will be Virtual Fighter over here. They're a little bit more hood, but they ain't all that crazy. But this is a little bit more hood, but not fully white. So like this is not Section 8. This ain't Section 8. We're still right here is Section 8. Right here is Section 8. You know this. We understand why it's called Section 8. Now here's the Crack House, right? The Crack House has your Skullgirls. Remember this. It's gonna be on the test. They got your Skullgirls over here because you ain't blocking the Skullgirls. Trust me. Your Melty Bloods. Both Type Lumina and Current Code. There are two different types of crack. One is a little bit stronger than the other. One can really make you hurt. This one. Also, you want to know who out here in the Crack House too? MVC 2 and 3. Understand that they have been in this Crack House just as long as these motherfuckers have. They have actually started the Crack House. They said, look, we're going to start cooking it. We want y'all to try it, right? And then you gotta understand, Skullgirls, Melty Blood, MVC, they're all young bloods, bro. They're all young bloods to the crib. Then a new motherfucker showed up. DBFZ. And they didn't give him crack. They gave him meth. They gave that man fit. And the DBFZ community has been completely done. MVC are the drug dealers. Exactly right. Exactly right. DBFZ, they because understand, Skullgirls works off of what? Works off of whose system? MVC system. Right? DBFZ was in a corner and they were having a good time using Fent in the crack house with everybody else. And the newest new blood to join the ranks, 2X KO. They're the newest one to join the ranks of the crack house. I'm telling you, this is how it's going to work. And you know what's crazy? BB, BlazBlue, right? They're hood. We know this. But BB Tag also entered the crack house. When they thought we could change up, let's see what the other people doing. So they went into the crack house and came out BB Tag. I'm telling you, this is mathematically true. I'm telling you, this is mathematically true. And now I want you to understand, this is probably 1 through 4. 1 through 4, Street Fighter has looked over from the white neighborhood and has realized Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, and like DNF, a couple other games, they're having a lot of fun, but they don't see a lot of those other games outside. And again, let's go ahead and put our SNK. So we're just gonna put SNK for City of the Wolves and KOF. DOA, they don't really know, but they're definitely on the other side of this. Actually, know what? DOA doesn't even go here. They're on the hood side of things, but they're more uppity. Why? Because they out here trying to sell titty, bro. They're your OF models. Oh shit, that is too big. DOA is our OF model that made it big and then it didn't work out afterwards. It is a mixed bag. Right? So look at here, right? In the white neighborhood, right? And this is still the hood side of the situation, right? But the closer you are to the white side, you might have a little extra privileges. This is the OF house. They're hood, but they don't want to admit it. They're hood, they don't want to admit it, but they know what they are. They're part of this. Because one of the things that I can say about Granblue, one of the things I can say about Soul Calibur, one of the things I can say about Street Fighter, Virtual Fighter, and a lot of SNK games, guess what? You're not sitting here and you're eating the piss. You're not taking the piss. Because a lot of this is player knowledge. This is player tendencies up here, not down here. This is knowledge checks. This is all knowledge checks. If you realize your fighting game requires a lot more knowledge checks than just, oh, the systems act this way, then here you are. Mortal Kombat? That's an easy spot. MK resides right next to Tekken. They're neighbors. Because MK is still a good amount of knowledge checks. Name is Tekken. There's a lot of knowledge checks that go on the MK, but same thing with Tekken, you get a little bit more player interaction going on. It's a lot more, oh, what is the player going to do? Not in here, not over here. This is knowledge check and crack-headed mentality. Killer Instinct, you know what? Hold on. Let me go get a professional. Let me go get a professional for Killer Instinct. He might be the wrong person to ask, but look. You got a second, jump MVC real quick. Is it? Is there a lot of knowledge checks that go on in that game? I don't know. Hold on, I'm making sure that my properties are correct. Okay, my properties are correct for this, but it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna go get me a professional for the situation. Hold on, give me a second. I need your Gunbuster really joined it. He was like, hold on, let me in on the conversation. No, we're housing fighting games, right? We're housing fighting games. And I want you to understand this, right? I want you to understand this. The diagram is looking pretty smooth, but they want to know, where is KI going? Is KI in the white neighborhood, or is it part of the hood? So okay, so you're sounding a lot of hood. You're selling a lot of hoods, but do you say? Definitely invited to a cookout? Is that what you're saying? They a little dark? Understood. So now, chat, we have come to the conclusion that KI is also in the crack house. They're part of the hood. They're not part of the crack house. There's a difference. All right, appreciate your professional opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and move on back. I had to get that professional opinion out of the way. All right, so now we're looking at everything. We're really putting it down, right? Look, KI also part of the hood. VF, SNK, they're part of the white neighborhoods. They're doing fine, but look, sometimes it's a little knowledge checks, sometimes it ain't, sometimes it's system checks. Street Fighter, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Soul Calibur. I believe that those games belong over here. And then your indie games, your indie fighting games are going to, fall around the board. But understand that this crack house over here is housing the most diabolical niggas of all the fighting games. MVC 2 and 3, Dragon Ball Fighters, Skullgirls, Melty Blood, 2XKO, BB Tag. Diabolical shit happens in these games. Am I on crack? Yes, 100% you're on crack. These games here have nothing but diabolical shit happening 100% of the time. So with this knowledge, with us coming to this understanding, we already know that if you are coming out of the crack house, these other games ain't gonna bother you. You can't care. You came and asked me, hey, is it too late to learn Dragon Ball Fighters? And my answer to that is, you came out of the crack house. It doesn't matter where else you go, you'll be all right. Now, how obscure of FGs can I start to recommend? Hold on, bro. Wait a minute, Flame Pit. Yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I like to keep my shit up to date. Look, I'm gonna show you my library. I'll keep my shit up to date. There ain't a lot of old shit in here. Battle Breaker Omni is probably the oldest. Actually, know what? No, that would have to go to Virtual Fighter 5, I believe. But as you can see, my shit is close up to that. Who's playing this? You know what? He got it. So let that be a lesson. Now I do currently play a little bit of Tekken Tag 2 because that game really fun and online is really fun right now. But my library is short, 2SKO. I didn't even get to play the beta. That's fine. Plays Blue Central Fiction. When them niggas call, I be calling. BB Tag. I wish you could see my face, but it's that little stink face. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that looking face. Somebody hit me up and say, hey, we're playing BB Tag. That's me right there. That's me right there. I'm pulling the hair back. I'm looking deep in your eyes. We're going to get into this. We're going to get into this. Same thing with Central Fiction. Call me up. I'm here. Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I like the game. I think it's fun. Brawlhalla. This is a game my friends like, and I don't mind playing it. It's still kind of fun. PC Caster, you already know what this is. That Melty Blood current code. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. DNF Duel. Yes, sir. Dragon Ball. I'm always there. Sparking Zero. If you ask me to pull up an Elden Ring, I'm boxing. Oh no. If you would have asked me to play some Clash of Ninja type shit, bro, I'm there. I love the Clash of Ninja series. That game was great. Sailor Moon is some curse shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not touching that. I touched Sailor Moon at one tournament, like one major, and I was like, oh hell no. I'll play this shit for money. Y'all are crazy. Bleach Heal Soul 7, that was a good game. If you tell me to pull up an Elden Ring, I think you're a masochist and you want to do something to me. No.